Hello my fellow pod pilots of New Eden, my name is Eddie Rio and this is PvP RoamAntics episode 2. Now as you can see I've just jumped into a rather interesting little gate camp here. My mate is on the other side of the gate in a rifter with only an afterburner fit, so I've told him to warp away and I'm going to try and deal with this situation somehow. I'm in an Imperial Navy slicer and I know I can pretty much go faster than anything here. So at this point I've got two options. I can either burn back to the gate, take some aggro, jump through and then try and aggress whatever jumps through. Or I can speed off in one direction, which is what I've chosen to do here, and see if some tackle starts to follow me. Instantly I get ECM jammed by that fucking Falcon, and I'd be more than happy if they just took ECM out of the game completely, but that's not going to happen, so we're just going to have to deal with it. So I'm just going to keep burning until I'm out of the range of it, which just happens then. And as you can see I've got a crow which is pretty much on top of me, so I'm going to go straight for him and start applying some DPS to him. There's also a Tyrannus which is getting rather close, and a Sabre which is sort of in the middle there. I'm not too worried about the Sabre catching me at the moment. So I've got to just take care of this crow first, and I start applying some DPS. I'm getting a bit nervous because I've lost half of my shields there, and if I get my sort of trajectory wrong on flying around this crow, the Tyrannus might be able to get a point on me. So the crow's taken a little bit of damage and he started to back off, and now it's the Tyrannus's turn, so I think I'll swap over to that one. And I kind of turn around here because I think that they're running away, and then I'm sort of manually piloting, flying and then adjusting my speed. That crow gets rather close to me, but then I luckily managed to get away before he gets a scram off. So I'm in a great situation here. I've got the crow pretty much on his own. The next ship's 100 kilometers away. The Sabre's warping in, but I'm not too worried about that. He's not going to be able to catch me, so I'm thinking, right, this crow is going down, he's mine. So I'm balls to the wall at the moment, focused on trying to get this guy and not worrying too much about what is coming in. But then Bosch, the Cerberus, comes in and gets really close to me and is able to put a bit of DPS on me, and as you can see my shields are just slowly dropping. But as I'm getting this crow I'm thinking about bailing, so I've aligned to one of the planets, so as soon as I put that final blow on him I also get hit into half armor, and then I manage to warp out towards the planet. Awesome little bit of PvP there, really good fun, and a great sort of first fight for me to jump into in my slicer and get the heart pumping again. Now this is the next day. I logged back on and I jumped straight back to that gate, and I noticed the same corporation are still fluttering around. I think they must live in this area and camp this gate quite a lot, so I think, you know, they're only in the kind of frigs again, so I'll have a little dance and a little play with them again and see what we can do this time. So I'm just going to kind of jump back and forth through the gates a little bit, assess who's active in the system. It's the Tyrannus and a Jaguar at the moment, but I'm sure that other things are going to start popping up. So I'm kind of moving around a little bit and taking my time, looking to see if I can set this fight up and split one of them apart so that I can take them out. So I've done that thing where I've jumped through the gate and I've started burning off in one direction again, and I can see that the Tyrannus is much faster than the Jaguar, so the Tyrannus is probably going to be my main target for this, because he's the one who can move the fastest and move around the field, so he's the one I'm going to want to take out first. So again I'm just sort of flying around. I'm not really too worried. I know that they can't get sort of my speed. If you notice, I'm sort of adjusting my speed here. I don't know if players know this, whether you just go as fast as you want or anything, but if you press in the speed bar anywhere there, it will actually adjust your speed, so you don't have to go as fast as your ship goes all the time. You can sort of slow down to let things catch up with you rather than just burning off and then coming back and burning off again. So you can sort of match their speed a little bit, and that's also tricking them a little bit, thinking that, you know, you can only go that fast and that they're catching up with you and they're in a faster ship, so you can use that to your advantage quite a bit. So as you can see, a crow's also just jumped into the system now from that corporation, so they're building up numbers. I'm getting some good DPS on that Tyrannus, but that Jaguar is getting a lot closer than it needs to be for me, so I'm thinking about getting away. I'd rather get away at that moment and live to sort of, you know, keep fighting rather than go for the kill and then end up losing my ship as well. So I'm sort of playing the game a little bit here. Now that crow gets right in and starts applying DPS to me immediately, so I need to take care of that crow quickly, else I'm going to die or I'm going to have to warp out. So I switch straight to that crow and boom, there he goes. And I'm happy with that. I've got myself a kill, and I'll just orbit around this Jaguar for a little while now. The Tyrannus has gone off field at the moment. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute to try and save his mate. I can go faster than this Jaguar, so I'm just going to sit here and orbit him and start applying DPS to him. I'm absolutely loving flying this Imperial Navy Slicer at the moment, and it's such a speed fit. You can just kind of fly around and feel relatively safe knowing that you're one of the fastest ships out there. It's going to take something with a lot of speed mods and, you know, really good setup to match and rival the speed that I've got in this ship. So as I've been orbiting this Jag, you can see the Tyrannus has come back in for a little bit more action. He's already hurt. I think this isn't going to take too long. I'm going to switch straight to him and finish him off. The Jaguar's lost most of his shield, so he's scared and running away now anyway. And, you know, gun straight for the Tyrannus and take it out. So I've got 2 kills in this little engagement now, and I'm quite happy with that. And rather stupidly, I've just burnt out my micro warp drive there, so I think time to get out and bail now. So I make a little exit, but I just think, you know, it's not over yet. There's still a few ships on the field. They seem pretty hungry for a fight, so I dock up in a station and then I warp straight back again. And there's a Malediction and a Hawk floating around. They've kind of changed ships, moved around a little bit now, so I think, right, well, let's just tango again and see what happens. I'm getting some great experience here. I haven't PvP'd like this in over a year. I haven't done frig PvP, so I'm just getting used to the buttons, getting used to the speed of it all again, the kind of slingshotting, the way that the ship moves, and the DPS, and the way that you can tank through the sort of transversal of your ship so that stuff can't hit you in this little frig. Because I've got no tank in this frig, I've got no shield mods, I don't even have a damage control, so I can die pretty quickly. So if you noticed again there, I was playing with my speed to let this Malediction catch up with me so that I can fight him, and it's exactly what he does. Then I can sort of adjust my speed again, play around with him, start the orbit, and then start applying the DPS to him. He obviously thought perhaps he was a little bit faster. He's not going very fast now. I seem to have got a good orbit on him. The Hawk has come in, and again the Hawk starts putting DPS on me straight away, and I'm really nervous about that. But I'm gung-ho. I've already killed a few ships. I don't mind if I die, so I'm just going to go all out and try and get this Malediction right now. Oh no, sorry, yeah, it's the Malediction that's applying the DPS to me there. He's got rockets. It seems like rockets and missiles are the kind of worst enemy of the Slicer, because you can pretty much out-track sort of any other projectile gun or lasers and things like that, but the missiles seem to always hit, so they're always what I'm watching out for. So yeah, I killed that Malediction, and then I sort of get to work on this Hawk again. And now a Daredevil's come into the fray, and I know they've got a lot of DPS, but again I'm kind of watching his speed, and I think he's overheating now, and he's only going a little bit faster than me. So I think again I've still got the control of the field, with the fact that I'm the fastest thing here and I can sort of assess the situation a bit better. So I walked down to a wreck there to get a point back on this Hawk again, but you know, the Daredevils come in, so I don't actually get another kill from this point on. I just kind of play around with them and have a bit of fun and try and stay alive before warping off. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed those few engagements there that I had. I really enjoyed it. My heart was going. I could get back into the PvP action of this game, and I'm really starting to enjoy it again. Thinking of fits and ships that I can fit out and stuff that I want to fight in. I really want to do battleship PvP, small gang or solo battleship PvP, but my Iskies at the moment are kind of dwindling, so I think I've got a Maelstrom fit out somewhere that I might go and have a little bit of fun in. But at the moment I'm going to have to kind of stick to battle cruisers and lower. I thought of, in the first episode I just used the Hurricane, so in this one I've used the Slicer, so I might kind of keep it to sort of one ship for each episode and keep changing the ships and try and do a different ship for each episode that I do. So I'll have a little play when I next get on EvE and see what ship I fancy doing. Or if you've got any suggestions of what you'd like to see me fly, smack it in the comments and put the fit or link to the fit and I'll give it a go. I can fly pretty much anything sort of battleship and lower for pretty much every race, so I can give all things a go. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to watch the first episode, you can click on the image on the screen there, and please don't forget to rate and comment and subscribe and all those good things, and I will catch you in the next episode. Till next time.